I had a feeling there was something fishy about this girl. Hello everybody, my name is MeisterBloo, and today I took a look at the 5th episode of Monster Musume titled Everyday Life with a Mermaid. This episode picks up exactly, well not exactly, but very close to when the last episode ended with them walking into the house with Sue, a slime, and bumping into Sumisa-san, the government official, who's not supposed to find out about Sue. In a kind of state of panic, Mia decides that she's going to gather everyone together and like go over the plan to fight back against the government and keep them from getting Sue and whatnot. So government officials show up at the house and she freaks, and her, Syria, Poppy, and Sue all just book it. They leave the house, realizing too late that they forgot to bring Kimihito with them, which is against the law, as you may remember. So a good big chunk of this episode is them like hiding in the park from government officials walking around and everything, and Kimihito like says hi to the government officials, and it just turns out that they're here to remodel the place, putting in a giant pool and everything, presumably for Sue. During this time, Poppy tries to give Sue some water because Sue's getting a little dehydrated because apparently it's really hot outside. So she opens a water bottle, somehow manages to pour this entire thing all over her. So she is dripping wet, and that immediately attracts Sue because Sue, we find out in this episode, isn't hesitant to just go and get all the water off of a person's body. And thus begins the counter of how many times Sue can make somebody drop from exhaustion. Sue is doing things to Poppy that cause Poppy to get a little overly excited, and in that she passes out. Meanwhile, Kimihito is out looking for them because he's like, God, if they find them without me, then they're gonna be in trouble, and I don't want that to happen. So he's looking, and suddenly, out of nowhere, a wheelchair person just comes flying down the street, crashes into him, and he catches the person, and it's this girl, and she's like, oh, thank you. And he's like, no problem. Are you okay? Because I gotta go find these monster girls before anybody else really does. She goes, oh, are you looking for a Lamia, a harpy, and a centaur? He's like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, I've seen them. We cut, and Syria and Mia are just there. They've gotten so sweaty. I don't know how they managed to sweat this much. I mean, maybe I can see Mia. No, Mia's a snake. She's got dry skin. I don't know. But they are completely soaked with sweat, and then Syria like breaks a fountain which shoots water onto her backside, and the next thing you know, Sue is crawling all up inside of her dress. And that's 2 down. We have Sue winning this round with 2 knockouts, 1 to go. Kimihito and this wheelchair girl find Mia and Sue like in this epic battle standoff, and he calls out to Mia, and Mia gets distracted for the slightest second. The next thing we see is Sue take her out of the fight too. And then Sue sees this wheelchair girl and charges right at her, is about to get her, but then Kimihito catches her and ties her up in a plastic bag. Apparently that's how you beat the slime, and he's just so nonchalant about it. He's like, I've been doing this for a little while now, I know how to handle this. They all get back to the house, and Sumisa-san's there, and she has this amazing, super, like, inspired speech about how she shirks her responsibilities because she doesn't get paid extra for doing more. It really was a beautiful thing to behold. She basically says, I'm not going to report that you have a slime because that means that'd be more work for me to do, so as far as I'm concerned, what slime? I don't see a slime anywhere. It's at that point we find out that the room she is having installed is not for Sue. It is in fact for Meadow, this wheelchair girl who we find out is a mermaid. And that leads into the second half of this show, which is all about how jealous Mia is getting because this mermaid girl is getting a lot of attention. We see all this crazy stuff like she's trying to gather the others with her, but it's like all Sue's dehydrated, so Sue's not able to like do anything right now. Poppy immediately is like, let's play video games, mermaid! And Cydia's the voice of logic and reason in this entire second half. She's stone-faced. She's like, Mia, you need to calm down. You freaking out is actually causing a lot of these problems, and it's not making anything easier. That is up until the point where Cydia's like, this mermaid girl is very well spoken. She sees a lot of plays and musicals and whatnot, and she fantasizes about romance. So, maybe she's like a highborn person or whatnot. To which the mermaid girl, Meadow, Meru, I'm gonna call her Mero, even though in the anime, I could have sworn I heard a couple of them call her Miro, but it could just be a pronunciation thing. Subtitles use an E, my ears heard an I. In response to Cyria's comment about her being maybe a highborn or whatnot, she says, "You talk very, very nobly. It's like you're a knight or something," which sends Cyria into this big fantasy where the mermaid is a queen, Cyria is in like full knight regalia and all that, and just standing there all proud, and it basically just, it knocks her out of this whole situation. We go through like 4 or 5 different things that Mia tries to do to get this mermaid girl gone. Like, just either get rid of her, like some of them seem like an attempt to kill her, honestly, and that's kind of scary on her part, or just anything to get her away from her darling. The last of which is suggested by Cyria, actually, is, well, she's in a swimsuit, why don't you just get in a swimsuit too? So Mia gets into the giant swimming pool, which those construction workers did a number on this building. I think he's in like the 2nd floor or whatnot. Actually he's in the 1st floor because he's got stairs going upstairs and whatnot. So he's got this place. I'm wondering if this whole place is to himself, because they built an incredibly deep, deep, deep pool for this mermaid to swim around in. So deep that Mia actually starts to drown when she sees the mermaid seemingly pull Kimihito into the water. She jumps into the water too, and seemingly starts to drown from how deep she's getting and how cold the water's making her. But she's not dead, of course. She gets rescued and find out that the slime girl Sue was trying to attack the mermaid. Kimihito jumped in the way, blocked Sue, and they went into the water, and that's the situation. And then we get a really touching scene between, well, touching. We get a really, really okay scene between Mia and Meadow about how Mia's confessing how jealous she felt and why she was doing all these things. Meadow obviously didn't even notice. And then we find out that, yes, while the mermaid wants romance, she doesn't want it in the traditional sense. She is in full support of Mia marrying Kimihito. Why? Because she wants to be the other woman. Yes, that's that. I really like this episode, and one thing I want to really, really note is that they got this mermaid's eyes really pretty. They're very blue, and they're that shade of blue that I don't know, I just really, really enjoy. I have blue is my favorite color. It's one of the few colors that I can always like see perfectly, because I can't see all that well. I have very light color blindness and whatnot, and I always liked blue because blue is something where I could look and be like, oh, that's blue, and everyone's like, yeah, that's actually right. Almost nothing else I can get right. But her eyes are very pretty in this, and there's a really, really nice scene where we get a little bit of backstory into Mia. Not too much backstory, but just like maybe why she is this focused on being romantic with Kimihito. It's because she just like this mermaid girl, as a little girl, read all these fantasy stories and whatnot, and grew with this idea that she would have a prince to like live with and everything. And maybe I'm reading too much into this, but maybe it's because she's a snake girl. Maybe she felt like that she wouldn't have that or whatnot. So maybe that's why she's so persistent with Kimihito and so worried when it seems like he's going with somebody else. I don't know, maybe I'm reading way too much into this, but it was a really nice moment regardless. And seeing adorable tiny Lamia Mia was so cute. But yes, that's it for episode 5. I will see you all in episode 6, so until then everybody, peace out.